Hello and welcome to the Jordan Powers Experience. My name is Jordan Powers, and on today's episode, I'm joined by three super talented dudes. They're all based in the Kelowna music scene here, doing a lot of the hip hop stuff that's going on in town, and yeah, all making big moves. Their names are Miggs the Chemist, my dude Cali, and my dude Fr33mason. And all three of these dudes are either performer, producer, and an artist management and tour manager. Tons of crazy stories, a bunch of opinions and thoughts on kind of like the Kelowna music scene, and just their general background and history also. So it was a dope episode. My first time interviewing three people at the same time, but I think we had a good time, so I think you guys will enjoy it. So just a couple quick words from my supporters before we get started, starting with Garnish Barware. Garnish Barware is trusted behind some of Canada's busiest cocktail bars with custom engraved cocktail kits and flasks and other accessories. All the engraving is done here in Kelowna locally by my man Griffin. They do a bunch of custom stuff. It's super dope. Highly recommend checking them out at www.garnishbarware.com. And my second supporter, Oakham Cannabis. Oakham Cannabis has been growing here in the Okanagan for just over 2 years now. They specialize in high quality, high THC bud and oils, and they can now be found at all your local BC cannabis dispensaries. So make sure you go check them out, ask for their products, smoke them or discover. And yeah, without further ado, here's my episode with these three dope dudes.
Sweet.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Dudes, what's going on, man?
Just got into town last night. Still hungover a bit, but it's nice.
This is the first time on the podcast I've had multiple guests, so hopefully this works out for the audience out there. But maybe start by introducing your guys' selves and what you do.
I'm Brendan, Built to Destroy on Instagram. I'm a tour manager, a road manager, kind of just a connection kind of guy, I guess, you know? Yeah. Well, what about you?
My name's Mason. Fr33mason. Go FM in the kitchen on Instagram. Make beats and shit. Engineer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you a Freemason also, or?
No, that's just like a play. That's just a play on the call. It actually has nothing to do with that. It's more of just like being free with expression, basically.
Tight. Cool,
that's
man.
all it is.
Bro, you don't gotta hide your secret identity.
Well,
yeah, I'm trying to get in, man. I'm trying to figure out what the initiation is.
I don't know, man. It's some serious shit, so I'd rather just not talk about it here.
Yeah, fair.
Hey, yo, what's good, yo? It's Miggs the Chemist in the cut right now. Kicking it, you know. I'm a rapper / event planner, I guess you can say.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, just trying to give back to the community, give them events, get something going in this community for sure.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I know Miggs pretty well. I used to roll with his cousins quite a bit, and then I've just seen you around town a bunch, man, and you've always been kind of grinding in the scene, and I feel like you're like the young Godfather out here or something.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, tight, man. How do you guys all know each other?
Well, I guess I met Mason at the beginning of COVID is when me and him started to link up. We're from the same town, Lethbridge. We grew up there. And then I met Miggs. I met Miggs when I was on tour with young Tory or whatever, and then I also would just see him at every single venue. Somehow he'd always get in the artist area and shit like that. So then I had to ask him one day how he keeps doing it. Little 14-year-old sneaking in everywhere.
Yeah, bro, I didn't know he was fucking 14, 15 when I first started seeing him at shows and shit. Same with Indy. I didn't know that dude was young as fuck when he first started.
We're all just youngins, just getting at it, you know?
Yeah, and he's 21 now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how we all came together. Then he helps me with all my artists and shit that I do work with and everything like that. Makes a lot of beats and shit for me and stuff like that. Well, not for me, but for other artists and stuff, you know. And yeah, he's just a madman with making everything work. It's nice. Yeah.
And so what brought you guys out to Kelowna?
I just came out to chill out this weekend and stuff like that. I've been in Alberta for a while, so I wanted to come chill out here and stuff, you know. And then he just moved out here, I believe, and shit.
Yeah. I moved out here 3 months ago. I'm from Lethbridge originally in southern Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm loving it out here, honestly.
It's a bit of a different switch up in the vibe, eh?
Oh, for sure, bro. I feel I definitely didn't really fit in like that in southern Alberta, for sure. With the shit that I'm into, there's scenes for it and stuff, but I don't know. I just being around somewhere in the Valley crew and all those dudes, it's accepted me and like brought me in for sure. It's pretty dope.
Hells yeah. Shout out Somewhere in the Valley. Those dudes have been
For
shouted
sure,
out
bro.
so many times on this podcast, and I
shout
still
out
haven't had them
Kenny,
in
shout
yet.
out
So.
Sheen, shout out fucking Indigo. All those boys are sick.
Yeah, I love
they
those
literally like
dudes.
brought me into the cut and like made me feel family. So that's
Hells
sick.
yeah. Sweet. And then, so yeah, you said you were doing some managing for young Tory, or?
Yeah, I was working with him. Don't really anymore or anything like that. But I was working with him for a while. We did a couple tours together and shit. Went to LA and stuff with him, just like on work business and all that, you know. Mm-hmm. And then at the moment, I'm working with like Castro Come Down. Castro GUAPO is also what he goes by. But working with him at the moment, and it's pretty good. I like working with him. He's a nice kid, so.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, he was just in LA with J Harv, right? Doing some shit?
Yeah. He flew him down there and shit like that to go record for a few days and stuff.
Tight. Yeah, I haven't met that dude yet, but I saw him go through Grey Hearts one time also, and they were all posting him on the stories and shit. And I was like, oh, this guy must be a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I love him. Yeah, he's a good boy. Fucking, we gotta get him on here. I'd love to get him out here.
That'd be
get
sick.
him on this one, yeah.
Yeah, how did you and him link up?
Well, I was road managing for Tory, and then Tory, his DJ Kevin Rowley, he was always with us and shit. So like Kevin Rowley is also like really into like punk and metal and stuff, and he knew I was. So he got me and Castro linked up the one night at the studio in Toronto. Because he just told Castro he needed to meet me and shit. And then when me and Castro linked up, we just started talking about like metal, like black metal, like, you know, hardcore punk and shit like that. And then like we just like became real good friends and shit. So then he like hired me on to be his like tour manager and road manager and all
Sweet.
that kind. Yeah.
Man,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
What's life as a tour manager like? It sounds stressful.
It's like, it's fun, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. There's a lot of crazy parties and shit and like stuff like that.
It looks fun, but like any issue that comes up on the road that like he's like always on his phone like dealing with bullshit basically.
two
Like
phones.
that's like what the job is.
Yeah, like 24/7. Like as soon as we hit the road and shit like that, like my phone does not stop. Like calls, texts, everything, FaceTimes, you know, and like it's fun, but like it's super stressful. I had to take like the last like 5 months off from doing anything with music and just like chill out and stuff, you know, just because I was just going crazy from all of it.
Fuck, I bet, especially with the year we've had, I bet booking shows has been brutal.
Yeah, it really was. Like there was nothing really at all going on. Like we kind of had to just like kind of sneak by and like do like some like smaller parties and stuff but like you can't make a lot of money off small parties and stuff,
right.
You know, so. It did suck. We had a pretty big tour booked before COVID, like, you know, and everything like that with Castro and everything. And then it all just got canceled immediately just because, you know, COVID happened. We didn't know really how it was going to go and shit, you know, and like, so it kind of sucked, but things are kind of looking up a little bit. Not out here though. Out here is crazy. You guys got crazy numbers out here. No one's getting vaccinated. It's not really.
You're like, yo, get your vaccine so I can throw some shows down.
Yeah.
To the hospital to protest.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's up with that shit though?
No, that was
Let's
wild.
not even go there, really.
Yeah, I mean, we can if we want to. I thought that was
think
bullshit.
That shit's disrespectful as fuck.
I agree, man.
Whatever you think, bro. But
I had a dude on this podcast named Keith McIntyre, and he was the leader of the Libertarian Party.
Okay.
And so he was like very against these like vaccine passports that are coming out, and I just wanted to hear his perspective. And then he might have been one of the organizers at that, and I kind of called it out on Instagram. I was like you missed the mark, man. Like 1.7 kilometers down the street is City Hall. Like why are you outside the hospital protesting?
exactly, man. Those people, they're not just dealing like people like to act like that's the only thing they're fucking dealing with. It's like.
Bro, could you imagine?
There's so much more going on in the hospital, and that's like, you know what I mean? Like those are well-oiled machines when they're at the proper capacity and shit.
Totally.
It's all just a capacity issue, pretty much.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like doing like open heart surgery and you look out the window to a bunch of people being like, "Fuck this vaccine," or something, like, you know? Like, what are you accomplishing by doing that? You know?
Yeah, nothing, man. It made them all look like a bunch of idiots.
A bunch of underachievers. walking
Yeah,
down
I
the
think
street.
the idea was that a bunch of nurses and stuff were walking off the job because they were losing their jobs because they're not getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
But like, why stay at the hospital is kind of what I
Yeah,
was
fair
thinking.
enough.
Like, it didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we can get those numbers up so that you guys can start throwing some shows and shit.
Yeah. Or you could be like Alberta. Like out in Alberta, it's like we just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist there.
They're like, it's not a thing anymore, and
Well,
apparently it's not.
Now that Kenny's done his press conference, he's back from his vacation.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's up.
Now there might be mandates.
Yeah,
but they're
maybe.
just like warning of it.
Yeah, warning of
Alberta's
it.
politics is fucking stupid as shit.
Bro, they're all cowboys out there.
It's
Yeah,
all stupid.
freedom, right? Freedom's what they're all about.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, Canada's Texas.
Canada's
facts.
Texas, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So how did you get into like booking tours and becoming a tour manager? Like, was this something that you kind of set out to do straight out of high school, or?
No, not really. When I was a kid, I was always like into metal music and shit. Like Slipknot was like one of the first bands I really got into and shit,
Same,
you know.
man.
And then I got really into punk music, and then I started going to just like local shows in my city. And then that was in Lethbridge. And then the two promoters that were doing it in my city, like bringing in punk bands and hardcore bands, they stopped doing it just because they kept losing so much money. So I was like 14 and I started putting on punk shows and shit, and I get my mom to book the venues and stuff, you know?
Oh,
and
crazy,
so,
dude.
yeah, so I would just like bring the touring bands through and shit. And then I kind of just like, I never traveled as a kid ever, right? So like when I turned 18, I started booking flights like immediately. And then I started touring with punk bands because I kept, you know, promoting shows and stuff. And then when I was touring with the punk bands, it was great. I was seeing the whole world and shit, but I like was making no money. Like I was stealing food to like get by and shit, you know? And then what's it called? I was on this one tour. I had like no money for it at all. And I was like hella broke. And we were driving to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I just started messaging every single one of my favorite rappers that like at the time that I really fucked with. And that was like in 2016, I want to say 2015-ish. And yeah, Warhol SS was like one of the first guys, and Thousand Band Fawny were like the two who like hit me up, and they're like, yeah, you like come out to LA, like all this. And I was like, I got no money. And so then Warhol flew me out, and his manager Val, who was my first manager, and then I lived out there with them for about like 6 months, and it was it was cool as hell, you know what I mean? Like met a lot of cool people and shit. And then we did a lot of shows when I was out there down in LA and stuff, like all through like the California, you know, just like California in general. And then from there, I kind of just used that like a little bit of clout and shit like that to kind of just like weasel my way into other like, you know what I mean, artists and shit like that to bring me on the road and stuff. But yeah, no, I guess like, yeah, I just got tired of being broke all the goddamn time. And I was like, these rappers got money. But then I quickly learned that these rappers don't got money.
Yeah, not all of them do.
Like when I first went down to LA, fucking we were having to fucking sit there and just like make money any way we possibly could, me and Warhol and shit like that. So we were just like trapping and shit, but it was worth it, you know what I mean? Like the amount of people I met and shit like that, and like the shit I saw was like cool as fuck, and like the weird and awesome parties and stuff, you know?
Yeah, especially out in LA, man. That's gotta be a trip.
It's weird out there, bro. You think you see one thing, you think shit gets weird, and then it just completely is just like a whole other, you know? You
got any stories you can tell that won't incriminate anybody?
Well, yeah, one time we were at Pink Dolphin for Uno the Activists listening party and shit, right? And so it was packed out and everything like this, and there was these like two like European chicks, and they're like hitting on me the whole time, and like me and Warhol started talking to them. We're like, what are y'all doing tonight? Like, we're going to the Valley, come through to this party, like da-da-da-da-da, like, but just you two, nobody else. And so I was like, all right, sounds good. I was like, they're hot as shit, like, let's go, you know? I was like, I'm down with this, you know?
No questions asked.
Yeah, you know? And so like, yeah, like, so we rip down there, we get there, and like, they were like talking, they were European, I don't know where they were from or something, you know, but they were like talking in their language. And so we get there, and like we got in, and like there was like a few people there, and it was like kind of weird, just like the vibe. And like, I was like, okay, like whatever, right? Like the main living room was like kind of chill. And they're like, yeah, if you want to go downstairs, there's more people downstairs. We walked down the stairs, and literally as I'm getting down there, I was like, kind of smells weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And like straight up, we walked in on like just this huge fucking orgy going on of like people fucking. And like, it was just like, I remember like going down there, like looking around, and I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I was like, I'm not that crazy. Like, fuck that. And like, I turn around.
You thought about it for a second.
Oh, 100%. But like, yo, like, it was like, I was like, okay, like a lot of hot bitches and everything, but I was like equal dicks to the, you know, vagina right now. And I was like, I'm good on this shit. So I fucking walked out of there, and then we stole a bunch of bottles and just got the fuck out of there. It was so weird, bro. But yeah, no, fucking, I did a bunch of mushrooms the one time too. We went to this one studio. We didn't eat at all, but like Warhol was recording with like one of his little cousins. Did a bunch of mushrooms. Didn't even know where I was, but it was this crazy mansion and shit. And this dude with these like crazy wicks and shit, like all walked in the studio, and he was like, you know, helping the one producer and stuff. And like me and him started talking about shrooms, and like I was just like having a casual conversation. Like little did I know it was like TM88, like Futures producer and shit. That's the house I was at. You know?
Crazy.
Yeah, and like. He was just casually popping bars like Xans. Like, it was insane. I never seen somebody like him like work how he does and just be so high all the time. But yeah, that was cool. That was a crazy experience.
Damn.
Yeah. And then we pulled up one time to like Chris Brown's video shoot, and like I didn't want to go. I'm not even gonna lie, you know what I mean? Because like at first, like when they were like, "Oh, we're going to like, you know, this video shoot and shit," I was like, like cool, like which one, you know? And they're like Chris Brown, and I was like, Rihanna. I was like, I don't know if I can do that, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but he was hella nice. I FaceTimed my dad with him and shit like that, you know?
Crazy.
What I mean? Yeah, he was super nice. Yeah.
Damn.
but he still beat up Rihanna, so fuck him.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Riri's the queen, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy about like a place like LA, or when you get into these little pockets of like just like it's the it scene, it's where it's at. Is like you're all of a sudden rubbing shoulders with like so many people.
Yeah, and and that's the thing too. Like I think like a lot of like younger artists and like people who like like I have a lot of people be like telling me like I want to do what you do and shit like this, or I want to go to the same places and stuff, and like I've done nothing special. You know what I mean? Like I sold myself and everything like that. You know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, it's like I'm not a rapper, producer, or anything like that. And like it's insanely possible for anybody to do it. It's like Instagram is a huge tool too. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have Instagram, there's no way I would have got my ass down to LA. You know? And like it just took that one person to like hit me back, go down there, broke as shit, still living, but I like made it good, and everything like that. And like I feel like too many people are like too worried about taking that risk and getting out of like, like their hometown or wherever it might be, you know what I mean? Or like sitting your ass down in LA for like 3 months in like a shitty hostel if you have to,
Right.
It's always like so worth it, and shit like that.
Yeah, it's that Gary Vee mentality of just messaging as many people with the blue check mark as possible. And if one of them hits you back, then it's like boom.
You got it. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Crazy. So what's your goal out here in the Okanagan? Like, you guys planning on throwing some shows once all this bullshit's over? Or?
Well, Miggs got most of that shit. Yeah, and like I mean, like Miggs has always been like my right hand man kind of shit and all that. You know what I mean? So like with him, he just like. I came out here mainly like, just sit there and kind of just like get more immersed in it and shit. Tell me about like the fest and shit.
About the fest?
And like all like those parties and shit you guys want to do.
Oh yeah, like we definitely like we starting to, especially with COVID right now, like it's really hard to plan events. You really have to like work around the rules but stay within the guidelines.
Right.
So we ain't trying to get screwed over and all that, but we had some crazy events going on. Like I was working like down with this team who helped plan like Center of Gravity and Shambhala. Like there was a bunch of people who just got put together in a group, I guess you can say, and they were trying to throw like a huge music festival just downtown here.
Oh, crazy.
So like, I was on Zoom calls. Me and my one boy Hartman, we were in charge of like bringing in artists. So we were getting in contact with any artist that we can. Like obviously like Castro is gonna come. We had like a lot of like one of the bigger names that we talked to was like Wiz Khalifa.
Damn. That'd be
like
wild.
He wanted to come out here and we got in contact with MGK. MGK was like, like I fucking love Kelowna, man. Like definitely trying to come back, and I'm like, I'm on this FaceTime call with them. And like, I look in the back, and I'm just like, no way, like Megan Fox is just chilling back there.
Damn.
I'm like, this dude's talking, and it's like, I'm not even listening to you anymore, bro. Like,
that is Megan Fox.
Bro, like those toe thumbs.
Bro.
Dude, that scene from Transformers where she's like opening up the car, the hood, man. I'm just like, that fucking was my childhood right there.
Like she really in the back there, so I kind of got a little bit distracted. But I ended up talking with him, and like, he's a cool guy though for sure. But like, we were just in contact with all these artists, and then we were planning on like throwing like a huge music festival. Like there's like a whole team behind it and all that.
Crazy. So is that still in the works, or is this kind of pandemic?
Not so much anymore. Like it all kind of like fell apart. Like everyone else, it got split up. Like everyone's doing their own thing now.
Fuck. Well, it's bound to happen one day.
Yeah, it's finna happen soon, man. Like we got the right people here. Like especially with Center of Gravity not being a thing anymore. Like there's got to be like one more festival, and it's gonna be coming sooner.
Totally, man. And I feel like we have such a strong underground like hip hop scene. Like everybody loves hip hop music and shit now, and it's like I'm shocked there's not more venues here in town that are like putting those shows on.
Yeah, like it really feels like I'm like the only person out here like trying to go out of my way and throw hip hop events, like throw arcade shows, underground DJ raves, and all that. Like you ain't really see too much of that here.
And you've been doing it for a minute also.
Yeah, I've been doing it since like I was a youngin' in high school, I guess you can say. Just like going around my school, just like selling off all these tickets, going to my teachers, being like, like buy these tickets, like just selling them to whoever I can, just trying to get out there. But
do you want to tell that story of one of your shows at the Black Box and it getting shut down by the cops?
Oh shit, man. Yeah, that story. Fuck, man. Like,
that's the infamous Miggs story I've heard, man.
So pretty much like was throwing this event. It was pretty chill. I had like a support team and I had some security. Like I hired Paladin security because I really didn't know. Like I came down to the day and I was like, damn, like I really need security. Like me and my homies can't be running doors. So like I hired these Paladin securities. So, like this one huge dude, like big guy and then just like this other girl, and like they were doing good. They were running the door, but it got to the point where like it just started getting so packed. Like we were over capacity. Like people were raging, yo. Like these security guards were getting stressed. I'm like, yo, chill out.
And this is like a community theater where they throw like plays and shit.
Yeah,
and, like,
yo, just like in the background.
You know, so,
It's like, yo, there was probably like ballerina rehearsals like earlier that day. But then in the night times, like we turning that shit up, man. Like, yeah, it got to the point where the cops pulled up. They pulled up as I was performing too. And I remember, like, someone came up to me on stage and they're like, yo, like, the cops are looking for you. I'm like, yo, I got 2 more songs. Perform my 2 songs. And then after that, I'm like, yeah, I went off the stage, went up to the cops, and I was talking to them. And they were just being like, yo, like, you're crazy, like, da-da-da. And I was showing them all the contracts. I showed them everything. Like, we were all good. Like, ended up sorting it out. But then after that, the vibe after that kind of, like, started moving out. Like we went to a different after party after that, but like yeah, a couple of my homies on the stage, like they were like on the mic and they were like fuck, and the crowd was just like 12, like fuck 12, fuck 12, just like that basic, like I don't know, just like OG shit, I guess you can say. Just like yeah, cops were just trying to shut it down. We were like, fuck that. Like, let's keep going, yo. Like,
yo, and you were like 15 at that time, weren't you?
I think I was like 15 or 16 for sure. I think I might have been 16.
Yeah, wild, bro.
But yeah, that was a good one, yo.
That's when I knew. I was like, this dude's got it, man. Like, this guy just doesn't give a fuck, first and foremost.
Yeah,
and,
bro.
yeah.
So I just try to make something happen when there's nothing happening, so.
Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy. Well, what do you guys got going on next in the works? Like, you guys got any plans for shows? Or, like...
Not really. Right now, we're just kind of throwing, like, little parties here. Because, like, we can't really throw shows right now. So we'll just throw, like, little listening parties. Like, pull up, bring your own liquor and all that. Kind of just word of mouth, I guess you can say. Just, like, some underground scene. Just, like, in the works. Like, we recently opened up a storefront. So we're selling a bunch of merchandise.
Damn, where's that at?
It's just across the street over here at 375 Bernard Avenue. Somewhere in the valley.
Hells yeah.
But, yeah, you can book appointments for that. Anytime, just hit up the IG. Shop hours are like mainly like 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. like every single night.
11 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Like I say 24 hours.
Yeah, well, pretty much, yeah, 24 hours. Like, someone is always there, you know, like.
Yeah, Sheen, like, lives there at that point, eh?
Yeah, pretty much, yo, like, not gonna lie, I've been crashing there, like, a lot of the days of the week.
Yeah.
So I just get up, and I'm like, all right, opening the store, people coming through, buying merch right away, like, just as I'm getting up, or, like, yeah, yo, it's lit, though. Yeah. You know, just, like, trying to get the bands up. In other ways, just have a bunch of side incomes.
Yeah, word. And what about projects that you guys got coming up? Like, you guys dropping any albums or?
Damn, honestly, I don't even know. We just make music every single day. Like, we have producers cooking up in there, people like recording all the time. But yeah, we just have to like get all our music together and just put it together. Like, I'm sure like we have like enough to drop multiple albums right now.
Yeah, word. Yeah, I've seen Indy's hard drives before, and I'm like, that dude's got just mad,
Indy's going in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Indigo Wave for sure, yo. Like, his new project, especially, like, that goes crazy, yo. Even got a little Castro feature on there, like.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy, like, he's got to blow up. If he doesn't, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely, like, one of the best in the city, or definitely the best in the city right now for artist-wise.
Yeah, man. J Harv showed me a Smoke Break off his new album, and I was just like, I can't wait for that to drop.
Yeah, yo, like, he's got the coolest voice, too. Like, there's, like, no one really who can match his voice over here on the West Coast.
He doesn't stick to...
Yeah.
Indigo is cool because he doesn't stick to one inflection. Like, he's always playing with his voice and, like, making an instrument out of it. It's, like, very, like, Young Thuggish.
Totally,
He just has fun, like... You don't need to have, like, the craziest lyrics all the time, even though some of his lyrics are sick, but, like, just the way he, like, flows and stuff is cool.
Yeah, and even just, like, his look and his performance. Like, I've done music videos with him, and he's crazy.
He's making most of those beats, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different level, I think.
It's like Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
You got a project you're working on, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm still working on it. I'm kind of past the production phase and shit now. Just, like, really want to tighten up mixes and shit.
Yeah, and so that mainly producing on that, or?
No, it's like they're all songs, and it's pretty much all me, like all production by me.
Hells yeah.
No samples, none of that shit.
Wild, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, when is that going to be dropping? You have a kind of timeline on it, or?
I'm hoping like October kind of thing. Yeah, I'll be probably posting about it when I'm serious to drop on my Instagram and shit.
Sweet.
I'm just like yeah,
Make some videos.
making beats, and I'm kind of doing other shit too at the same time. So like, yeah, people send me mixes and whatever. So like, yeah, I'm still staying busy, but like that's kind of like not on the back burner, but like second priority for sure.
Yeah, fair.
I still need to like keep up a catalog of beats and shit so I can keep selling beats.
Yeah, you
that
still got to
shit.
make the money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, having that little side income, like I have a job out here and shit, but like, yeah, having that little side income from something that you like really like doing is like, I don't know. Everybody knows that's the best.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
It's
It comes to late, so you gotta build it up, right? Like,
yeah.
have to
Oh
build
yeah,
and then-
dude. I made beats for a long time and never sold one.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
I still don't sell like. It's not like I'm selling like 10 beats a week or something, but like, you know what I mean? Like even just a little bit.
Yeah.
Here and there is
Definitely.
dope.
Dude, it's that passive income. You can just like get a big catalog, throw it online, and like
Yeah.
check your account. You're like, fuck, I made $1,000 this week. Just
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah. I've kind of been like torn on the idea of having like a beat store or like, because right now I pretty much just keep everything on a Google Drive, and then like when I like an artist or like if somebody's heard about my beats or something, then I'll send them the Drive link.
Oh, word.
So it's like you can't really go and find my beats on stores and shit. I like to try and like keep it exclusive.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
like, because then like, I don't know, a lot of the times when people are like recording on a beat off of BeatStars or something, there's like always in the back of their head like, oh, somebody's probably recorded on this. Like,
Yeah.
the idea of like having a beat that's like limited access, you know what I mean? And it's
Totally.
like really sick still at the same time. That's
Yeah.
like, that's kind of the vibe I like going for. It
Do you
keeps
guys
it
know
like,
Huey Doge here in town? You probably know Huey Doge,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, he had a track, and then like it was one of my favorite songs, and then like he just hadn't put it out, didn't put it out, and then all of a sudden like 3-4 months went by, and somebody used that beat, and then like the rights got taken from it, and so he technically wasn't allowed to put it out anymore.
man. Like, yeah, it's just like risky business doing that shit.
Yeah, fair.
So like, and I don't like the idea of like a song coming out and me having no idea or any like creative input on it, and it's just like totally shit.
You're on the radio, you're like, what the fuck? That's my beat.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That might just me being like a little bit of a control freak with it, because like I make my own songs and shit. So like, if a song's coming out, I like to have like a hand in on the mixing and like a hand in on shit, but not
Totally.
like, you know what I mean? If I trust the person that I'm working with, like if I were to give a mix to Deus of the Vault or something, like that's full trust. Like
Yeah.
I'll sit in with him and shit, but like he's doing the work. You know
That
what I
dude's
mean?
a wizard
But, like,
also, man. Yeah.
That's like relationship trust you build up, though.
Totally.
Like, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Cool, man. Well, I think we're just going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Fuck yeah.
Burglars, diamonds, they shine on my wristy. I need me a check. Yeah, ay, sipping on rose, a deal, denim and diamond baguettes. Yeah.
I feel like I gotta ask this since it's popular talk right now. Donda or Certified Lover Boy?
Oh, Donda.
Who's winning? Donda, man. I don't get.
Donda.
Donda.
I'm saying Donda.
I'm saying Donda.
Man, I don't even care, man. I don't even care, yo. Like, it's cool, but like I like listening to like I don't know. I recently started getting into like more just like old school like music. Like I don't even know most of the names. But
What's Like,
like,
old school for you? Because you're
I don't
19.
know, like, Green Day,
Miggs does be listening.
like Green Day and shit. I started recently getting into that stuff, and I was
dude.
like, that shit's cool. Like,
American Idiot was the first concert I ever went to.
Damn.
I was in grade 5, yeah. And my dad took me to American Idiot.
Damn, I was like, yeah, same grade pretty much. Yeah, when that shit came out.
Yeah.
it was like that was lit. Like that was like the craziest album
Bro.
ever.
It was insane.
82 concerts for me. Like,
Yeah, dude, Travis Barker is the best drummer of all time.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. And like,
Kills it.
dude, like back in the day, Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge had the best stage presence ever, man.
Yeah.
They were so funny on stage together. They would like riff on their songs and make like little jokes about it. Like Tom DeLonge's always talking about like, I don't know, I guess it could be probably viewed as like homophobic now, but like
Probably.
he was
Most
Yeah,
shit
but,
back
like-
then, you probably, yeah. You go back and listen to Eminem's lyrics, you're like,
Actually, very
whoa,
true, yeah.
dude. You're like, fuck.
yeah, true. But like, I don't know, that's I really appreciated that part of it. Like, it made the show so much better. You're listening to all the songs and they're playing shit live too, but like that extra factor that they put on it with being funny, like that's clutch, man. That brings people back to your show for sure.
How much of like modern hip hop and shit is influenced by like punk? Because like if you listen to like dudes like I felt like fuck, what was his name, Lil Peep when he was coming up. Like I felt like that dude was like heavily influenced by like the punk music that I listened to.
There's a subgenre that exists for that for sure.
Yeah,
of it, but like and like I mean. There's relations between the whole like ideologies of hip hop and punk, like just like generally being anti-establishment a bit and like shit like that. But
the thing that like makes me mad about it though is that like I see like somebody like Peep and shit, you know what I mean? And I'll say it too. I might get canceled for it, but I fucking hated Peep. I just could not get into it. Yeah, fair. But like I don't know, like there is some rappers out there where like they were old like punks or old hardcore kids and like they went to the shows, they like did all that shit and everything like that. But like I noticed like a lot of them is just like they like see somebody like Marilyn Manson or something like that, right? And they're like, oh yeah, like that's me. I got to do that now. And it's like now they're like a punk rapper and shit like that. And I hate that shit because I'm like, it's so like in my opinion like fake. And maybe I'm just like an old jaded dude, you know what I mean? And like an asshole for that. But it's like I don't know. I low key kind of hate it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like Machine Gun Kelly getting called like the punk inspiration for like this generation and shit. Like hell no, hell fucking no. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like, he's good. Like, he makes good songs. I can't, like, deny him that.
Cardi is way more punk than
Cardi's hella more punk, yeah. Well, Cardi used to go, like, Cardi and Ian 100%. Used to go to, like, punk shows back in the day and shit, Actually, like, my friends in New York who played, like, in this one band, they almost beat the shit out of Ian Connors back in the day because he was just being Ian Connors and just being a little asshole and shit, And, like, all my homies like, in New York are just, like, straight up street dudes and shit like that. My, like, big homie Franz had to stop them from beating the shit out of Ian Connors and shit. But, yeah, I've seen, like, Ian Connors, like, stage diving at, like, turnstile shows and shit, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he still is, like, all about that shit. And, like, that's the kind of shit I love, you know what I mean? Like, if he was, like, I'm a punk, like, rock star kind of shit, I'd be like, yeah, I can agree with that, Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. There's just, like... Yeah, it's like Lil Peep. I'm like, I just know for a fact you weren't at any of those fucking shows or anything, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what kind of what annoys me,
Didn't come from the culture of the punk shows and shit.
Yeah, it's like more so they just wanted like the style and like the edginess,
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. But also, I get that too, right? Like, it's very like attractive.
I look at what Miggs is doing and I'm like, damn, that reminds me of like the punk idols that I looked up to growing up, like throwing those underground shows.
When that aw shit drops, bro. That was pretty lit last night.
Yeah.
Everybody in that room was like, it's such a catchy hook and shit, man. Like, that's pretty punk to me, having people jumping like that.
Yeah.
Facts,
It was cool. Yeah.
Gotta get some mosh pits going at the shows.
Fully.
Once we get those bigger crowds, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that video of DMX at fucking, what's it called? That big festival in England. Woodstock.
Woodstock.
I think it's 97 Woodstock.
That's a mind-blowing
video. Dude, I'm like, that is crazy seeing that crowd.
You're fucked in the head if that doesn't give you like shivers. If you haven't seen it in a while, like that's such a crazy feeling. It's gotta be.
Dude, it's just crazy how DMX was like performing in front of like 100,000 people or something. Like how many people were at that?
I think it was almost 1 million.
Something like that.
I think it was literally almost 1 million. Yeah, I know Metallica performed to 1 million at Woodstock. So
and like Limp Bizkit too and shit. But like DMX was like DMX was doing that shit, and then like fast forward 10 years, crackhead. Like is what it is. Respect to him though. You know what I mean? Like
crazy, bro.
Mental health serious, bro.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit also. That's hilarious. Like.
Dude, Limp Bizkit.
I kind of fuck with Limp Bizkit. Dude, like their old stuff, man. Like, I'm not afraid to say it.
First, before it got all commercialized and shit, the first Limp Bizkit album is sick.
Yeah. It's hard,
That's punk for sure.
Have you seen Fred Durst nowadays?
Yeah, he's wild, bro.
He's weird as hell nowadays. Yeah.
I think he's coming out with some new shit also.
Oh god, I hope not.
He's like doing like movies and stuff also.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's crazy.
Rob Zombie vibe.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Rob Zombie.
I would love to see Rob Zombie live. That motherfucker. He's like one of my favorite like artists and like everything he does.
Bro, for sure.
Yeah.
His movies and shit.
I love seeing metal dudes when they're just like so intense and like wild on stage, and then they're kind of like nerdy behind the scenes. Like Rob Zombie making zombie movies and shit.
It's interesting. That's almost like it's the case a lot of the times too with people like that. It's almost like their way of like getting out that edge when they're not even that person in day-to-day life, really.
Yeah, I interviewed one of my friends, Balin, and he's in a metal band called Ugly. Okay. And he puts on like a ski mask, kind of like Slipknot style back in the day. He's like, I just take on a different character when I'm on stage, and I get all my weird, like depressing thoughts out, and just go fucking wild, and then take the mask off, and I'm good old Balin again. Like, woo, got that out of my system. We're good. Yeah. It's a healthy way of getting that shit out.
I'd say so for sure.
I think that's like the definition of expressing yourself. Like, really.
Yeah, wild. What kind of inspiration in your guys' like music? And you said Slipknot. Obviously, you grew up growing.
Yeah, they were like the first CD I ever bought. I think I was like in grade 3 or something. Like I was like hella young, you know. My mom didn't even know what she was buying me, you know what I mean? And it actually used to scare me. I remember like I listened to it like so much, and then like after a while, like this is kind of weird actually, you know what I mean? Some of the shit they were talking about. But like, yeah, I don't know. I was always like, I was always in the punk and like hardcore, like New York hardcore and shit. Like I really loved like Madball and like fucking Billy Club Sandwich and just like old like, you know, like 90s like, you know, like New York punk and hardcore bands and shit like that. Yeah, that's basically like all I listened to growing up for like a really long time. And then I learned about A$AP Rocky, and that's like what really like got me into like, it got me into fashion, music, everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, A$AP Rocky's music videos are some of my favorite music videos also.
Bro, that Peso video, there'll never be a better video than Peso. It's insane. It's like the coolest video.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, his whole team, Og, I think, is like the creative kind of group behind him. And yeah, man, their editing skills is where it's at. And like, 100%. I edit, but like, I'm not that kind of editor. Like
my homie from Calgary is the one who does all the editing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wild.
Shout out, no, not Math. Shout out Cal Zimmerman, fucking, what's it? Xylanol on Instagram. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Dude, his editing is killer. Like,
his editing's great, but he's slow as shit for everything. God damn, man. I had to meet Rocky, and like when I did, he was not stoked and like at all, because he was like, your boy's too fucking slow and everything, and I was like, ugh, sorry. I don't even know what to say, you know?
Damn, which ones did he do? Like,
he did all of Rocky's like new NFTs. He did all the Ogway stuff pretty much. He's done like, they're building a new website and shit like that, so he's doing like the whole website and everything. It's like kind of like a video game. I don't know how much I can say on it actually, but I don't know if it's like released or not yet. But yeah, no, he does like pretty much since 2018, I want to say. He's like started working with Rocky and stuff, and just like doing all his editing and shit.
What's that song with the English dude? Like praise the Lord. Is that?
Oh, Skepta.
Yeah. That music video fucking is so sick, dude.
Too.
Yeah.
Skepta's like, he's always got such a dope presence.
Yeah.
Skepta's sick.
I just love the cuts of like being in between like New York and then London, and how they're kind of like, it's showcasing like the same kind of lifestyle, but like completely different parts of the world. Yeah, it's so fucking cool, man. Wild, dude. Yeah, fuck. I gotta get out here making music videos again, man. Like I took a break for the summer just because I was like, I want to chill and get this podcast started and shit. But I think it's time that I get back out there. And
yeah, sure, man. There's lots of people itching at videos right now.
Yeah, it's
I feel
crazy.
like every week I'm like, oh, we make a song that's like, this would be a sick video.
You shot the video for Tory when he was here, right?
No, that was Aaron De Silva.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
right,
shout out Aaron De Silva, the goat in the video world for sure.
Good to work with.
You did the Kenny one where it's like the scientists and shit. Right?
Yeah, that was me. With Cam and
that video is so sick.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's my favorite one I've done. Yeah, it was just nerdy shit.
Everything was good in it.
Dude, it's got like a story, like the whole like coming out from the black and white into the color. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I just wanted to do something where like the rappers weren't taking themselves so seriously all the time, you know? You know, there's a place for that, but then sometimes you just got that's some of the music videos I grew up on.
When the song's almost like an overlay and there's not too much of you just like mouthing the words.
Totally.
It kind of like reminds me of like an Outkast video, you know?
Okay,
like Outkast videos always have like good stories and shit like that, you know what I mean? And then just like structure to them and shit. Yeah,
my inspiration was I can't remember the name of the band. It's I hear you calling for me out of the night.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's like Godsmack or something like that.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about though. Yeah. It's an old song.
It's
Holy
an old
shit,
fucking song, man. Yeah, but there's like these. They're on a soccer field, and then there's like these zombies coming out of the soccer field.
And the one dude kicks the zombie's head.
Yeah, bro. So that was kind of my inspiration. I was like,
I remember watching that shit on MTV like back in the day when I was a kid. Yeah,
dude.
Insane. I haven't thought about that in so long.
How inspirational is MTV for like our generation, man? Like,
why is that? Like, I guess there's YouTube, but like,
I think YouTube took over.
It definitely did. Yeah. It's unfortunate there's not really
top 100 music videos though. Like I used to just go deliver my papers, like grade 5 type shit, and then go home and I had to wait like an hour to go to school. So I just pour myself some cereal and just watch the 100 music videos and every single morning.
And that was the coolest thing too, is like you would watch the whole music video because you couldn't skip through it, you know what I mean? And like it was just like so tight, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like YouTube where you can just like, oh, it's kind of boring, like, you know, skip to this part immediately. Like you had to watch the whole thing, and I loved that back then, you know?
Totally. And then even like the whole ranking system, you'd be like, fuck, did my favorite song make it to like the top 5 today?
Yeah.
Nah, mom, fuck the bus. I need to see who's number 1. I can't. Yeah, so wild, dude. I wish there was something like that still, where it was just like, you know, almost like
I guess there is like
kind of like YouTube.
YouTube does
but
that, fill that space.
Like, does anybody really look at what's trending on YouTube in terms of like the music videos? Like, I
guess
know.
like people look at like the Apple charts and shit like that. You know,
Right.
like
Everyone's
number 1
got
album
their
and
own,
stuff,
like-
but I don't know. I don't really even care about that much.
Everyone's YouTube is like, that's how all of our apps are. They're all like tailored towards us. Like,
Yeah.
I look at your YouTube, it's gonna be like totally different than my YouTube.
Yeah, I guess that's
Which
the
is kind
point,
of-
right?
Yeah, like
I hate that though. Like
yeah, it's kind
you
of
know,
like
because like when I see the news and shit on my YouTube and stuff, it's like all curated towards me, and I'm like, no, I want to
Yeah.
I want to learn about shit I'm not
curated
you know.
towards you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your biases too.
Yeah.
That's like the worst part is you never see like the conflicting opinions.
Yeah, you have to go searching for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yo,
it's-
I bought a newspaper the other day, and like, cause I was like, I want to like hear about some other news and shit. You know what I mean? Not worth it. So boring. I was like, this is stupid. Why am I reading this thing? Like, I went right back on YouTube and Google.
Yeah, how are they in business newspapers? Like,
I
who the
don't get
fuck
it.
reads newspapers
Yeah,
anymore?
My dad.
crazy.
You know? I think my dad still buys one every day, but that's about it. You know?
That's so wild. Even magazines, man. Like, I can't even remember the last time I picked up a magazine.
Yeah. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy that industry is still like a thing, but it's dying for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the overhead for all of that is just insane. Like all the ink, all the paper
Yeah.
that you use for that shit. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
wild as fuck.
Yeah. Save the trees.
Save the trees, man.
fuck yeah.
Crazy. Do you guys feel like the metal and punk scene is dying out a little bit compared to what it used to be?
In like some places, you know what I mean, in Canada, but like it's really not, you know what I mean? Like it's still like going heavy and shit like that. You know, like Vancouver's got a crazy good hardcore scene out there
Word.
and shit, right? And like there's a lot of like new younger kids like throwing shows and stuff, you know. Alberta's kind of like a little bit lacking, but Calgary also has some like really, really good promoters and shit. My one homie Jessa from there, she's putting on shows and shit, and she kills it, you know what I mean? Like they just recently started allowing like, you know, live shows and stuff, and she put one on. I wasn't able to get there, but like I was looking at the photos and shit, and it sold out and stuff like that I was hearing and shit. So like that was cool as hell,
Nice.
you know. But yeah, no, it made me like, but there was like definitely years there where it just like plummeted. Like 10 people would show up to a show kind of thing, you know. And
Yeah.
like you can only pay the band like $50.
Fuck,
Like,
that's the worst.
yeah.
What do you guys think Kelowna's lacking on in terms of just the music scene and like the industry here?
I think Kelowna focused way too much on like the Shambhala rave scene for too long, you know, which isn't a bad thing, but like it's just like they didn't like cater to anybody else besides like DJs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And like that's kind of like what bummed me out for a long time. And like, but I think like, yeah, more like hip hop shit around. Cause like, honestly, like this is the perfect location to have like a festival. Like you're 8 hours from Calgary, you're 4 hours from Vancouver.
Definitely, it's a good
everybody,
hub.
yeah, everybody loves coming here. You know what I mean? Like it's just like such a fun city in the summertime.
Yeah, I don't know why Center of Gravity got such a bad rep around town.
Well,
like,
that one girl died or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, when people die, never.
yeah, it's never
Never
a
good
good scene.
publicity.
But even before that, like people like, I guess there's still just kind of like some older kind of senior types that live in this area and they retire here and shit. And they, you know, you have to shut down at 11 because of like the city laws.
Well,
and,
they got the money too, right? Like they probably fuel a lot of like the politicians and shit here, you know?
yeah, you're
So,
probably right.
Money
Yeah,
talks for
yeah,
sure.
I can see that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and probably even developers and shit. And they're
Yeah.
always the most powerful people. I feel like we need like a solid like venue. Like I don't know if you guys remember the Habitat when they were in through here, but like that was tight. Like it was all ages. You could kind of like anybody could throw a show there, but I don't know what happened, but they obviously went under.
It's hard to like keep a venue going on like that though, unless you're a club or something like that. And even
Yeah.
then, you know, like it's really hard. Like unless you're in a city like Vancouver or something, you can have like after hours parties and shit like that, and like
Right.
utilize that space like kind of 24/7. It's so hard to actually pay those bills and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had more than one homies like who've opened up like businesses or not like businesses, but just like storefronts and like venues, and like they all say that like we have like 10 bands practicing here a week. We have like the shows and shit, but it's still never enough, you know. Like
Yeah,
it's just like just like the capital on it and everything's just like a lot.
I don't get why a place like Sapphire or Gotham isn't having like you guys coming through like and just having like almost like a resident spot, you know, and like every Friday like come in and throw a show.
That's
like,
a good question.
I think that,
100%, yeah. Like I'm like that's what I would want to see as somebody who loves like the culture here and wants to support the artists is like have you come up and perform 2 songs every Friday. and just switch it out.
Sick. Even just like use that as like a venue would be pretty cool. But like in the end of the day, they're just trying to get their bag. Like
I also think that they're just too old. Like they don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
like,
don't even like understand what's going on. They're like, yo, like we got the club. Like this is where everyone is coming.
And also, I feel like for like people like you as well. You know what I mean? Like where like you're 19 and it's like they look at something like you and they're just like, nah, you're too young. Like they don't take it seriously. You know what I mean? Like, which is bullshit.
It's
you know what
fucking
I mean?
dumb.
Like,
Yeah.
Like a couple shows. Like I performed at a couple clubs here. Like I performed at Level when Level was a thing. I think I was 16, but I had to like sneak in at sound check. I like went in the bathroom, waited till like everyone got their IDs, and like I don't know. That show was cool, but like it wasn't even like crazy. Like it wasn't even like worth sneaking in, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But I still like laid down a set and performed, and like that went hype. But like
when people are just like they want to hear like DJs when they go there, it feels like, right?
Yeah. They're just trying to get faded, you know, like go to the club, get faded. They ain't really think of anything else on their minds, like.
But if they brought in good artists and stuff like that, like if you think about how much like more lit the club would be and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like if you got like good artists, good bottle service, but like also the prices for alcohol out here is insane, man.
Is it expensive compared to
Alberta? Yeah, I remember like the one time like when I was with Tory and shit, like we went to Cheetah's and for like a bottle of Henny was like, and they gave us a discount. It was like $2.70, and then like and they gave us the booth I think for free, but like the bottle was $2.70, and I was like, I can't. I was like, what? I was like, and I was like, we can't even hold the bottle. I was like, are you kidding me? Like I can't even touch the bottle, you know? Like it made me so angry. Like Ontario, they just give you the bottle. It's like $100 for like a thing of Henny, and it was awesome, you know?
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Cheetah's is doing all that hot anyways. So.
Oh, yeah, that venue scares me. Bro, we were walking in there and they did not like us immediately, you know what I mean? And like, but shout out them too. They're a good venue and everything like that, you know? I'm just also, I don't want to talk shit on them and get beat up.
Yeah, fair.
But like one of those bouncers, I remember like, he was like patting me down and he like stuffed in my shoe and I was like, oh, dog. And he like looked at me and was like, what? And I was like, nothing actually.
Yeah,
I was like,
never mind.
You will beat my ass. I'm good on saying anything right now.
Yeah. Nah, fuck, dude. I just feel like Kelowna's club scene could really help local artists and really just like put them on, you know, and get people to start like downloading their music and learning the songs, because that's a big thing also. If nobody knows your lyrics, it's hard to really get involved in there. And but I don't know. That'd be my advice to Sapphire. Get Miggs at your show. Let him play every Friday. Turn the place up.
That's a cool club too. Honestly, I liked when I was there. You know what I mean? I was only there the one time. I was pretty lit, but like from what I remember, it was pretty sweet. You know what I mean? Like I had fun there. Yeah,
it shouldn't be B&A doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like why is B&A the one, like the main spot for hip hop or Fernando's? Like
it's weird.
It doesn't make sense.
Weird. I like B&A, but it just like I walk in there and I'm like, I feel like everybody's looking at me like I'm a criminal or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is like the whitest venue I've ever been in. Type shit, you know what I mean? Fair. I'm like bowling alley upstairs and shit. Like I can't bowl, bro. Upstairs, bro. Man, I went on a date with a girl there one time, and she was like, let's go bowling, and I was like, I'm from the reservation. I'm like, I have not bowled in my entire life. I'm like, I'm native. Like we don't bowl. Like you know, it's not a thing. I'm like, we go to Boston Pizza and we have barbecues, and that's it.
Yeah. And then he bowled, got a strike. He's like, fuck, I'm good at this. You guys got a team I can join, or?
Nah, dude, I hated that shit. Literally, like I was so bad at it, and I was like, "This is stupid." I was like,
the gutters each time.
Every single goddamn time. And I like have these stupid shoes on. I was like, I feel like a clown right now. You know?
Shoes are.
I grew up in the suburbs of Kelowna, so I can bowl like a motherfucking man. I'm best out there. Nice, dudes. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. But you guys want to shout anything out or kind of put anything out there for the audience?
OK Collective's got those parties going on and shit. Gonna have more, obviously. He'll probably say more on that. Follow my Instagram, Built to Destroy, if you're an artist that wants a little bit of guidance or anything like that. I don't usually charge people like anything, you know, depending on what it is. Hit me up anytime. I'm always trying to connect anyone I can, you know what I mean? If I can and shit like that.
Tight.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. Once again, FM in the kitchen on Instagram. Yeah. If you want beats, DM me. Send you that drive link. If you need mixing, you need engineering, you need mastering, whatever.
Hells yeah.
I got you. Get you sounded right.
Hells yeah. And you're in town officially.
Yeah, I live here now. I live with my buddy Cam, and yeah, it's dope.
Hells yeah.
Super dope.
Miggs?
What you mix?
Yo, you already know. Shout out Somewhere in the Valley. We got our own shop. Come by. We open 24/7, I guess you can say. You already know. If y'all trying to check out my music, You can find it anywhere at Miggs the Chemist, Miggs the Chemist, and like I also run a Instagram page called Astro Vision, like VZN, and like I just post hip hop content on there. So if y'all want to check that out, y'all can do your thing.
$500 a post though.
Yeah, there you go.
31,000 followers, 500 a post.
Tight dudes. Well, yeah, appreciate you guys coming on here, and looking forward to seeing what you guys do.
Fuck yeah.
Hells yeah.
Man. This is great.
Peace.
Bitches, they want me.